So this can be part one of our SPX, our next round of SPX studies here. We're doing iron condors. We're going to be looking at kind of the strategy that we've been doing throughout.
As opposed to the iron fly, which we've done a lot of research on, right?
We've done iron flies. We did the put spreads, which are exceptionally work exceptionally well in a 2-year time period where the market has gone essentially straight up. And so, here we're going to be looking at iron condors. So we're looking at selling out of the money premium on both sides with defined risk. Iron condors trade with lower credit for higher win rates, ideal for consistent returns over big wins. So, these are your trades where, like we've been doing them, you're putting on a small size here. You're putting on, 1, 2, 3 contracts, whatever your size is. You're taking quicker profits. That's kind of how we've been trading these. So the key question here is how far out of the money for the short strikes, how wide the wings, what profit targets optimize the risk reward. And then we're gonna test the strike placement, wing width, and exits that's
the 280 fill. Yeah.
280 fill. Good job out of you. I like
very nice, very nice. I mean, that worked in about 30 minutes or so, or thereabouts. Good job.
And so,
can I interrupt you for a minute?
Yeah,
even the S&Ps, I quoted them. They were up 108 when I put it on. They're up 106 right now. So really didn't get the direction correct. Actually got the direction wrong. We rallied into it. This had a little bit of short delta to it. So really that was just time decay. Expected move in the S&Ps was about 40-ish. It's now 36-ish. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt this regular scheduled programming for.
So next slide here. So here we're going to look at obviously the 2.5 years of SPX data that we have. And we get that data coming in every 10 minutes. We're looking at selling iron condors within 10 minutes of the open. We've been waiting a little bit longer than that, but it's still right around where we've been placing them, kind of in the morning session here. We're looking at 30 delta and 20 delta for the short strikes. This is where we've been kind of leaning into. And we haven't really had any mechanics on these. It's kind of been mostly just like feel for us during the day in terms of width and whether we use the 20 or the 30 delta. So we're going to see if we find a spot that is more optimal here. That's kind of going to be part of the look back here. We're going to look at wings $10, $20, and $30 wide. So, most of these trades, if you're doing them $10 wide, they're going to trade at somewhere around $3, $20 wide, around $4.50, $5. When you go 30 points wide, they'll be around like $6. So it's not exactly a doubling each width in terms of the credit, because you're getting closer to the tail options. The wings are getting lower deltas. You're really getting that much more premium here, but we're doing these at lower profit targets. So 10, 20, and 30% of the credit received. And then the remaining positions we're going to hold to expiration. A lot of these, we, in the last couple weeks, have been doing them, and they've been mostly winning trades. I don't think we've had any that we've held to expiration.
No.
Which is
not that I can remember, at least.
Yeah. So, we haven't had that situation, but we're using that as kind of our exit rather than a stop loss on these trades. The things that we're going to evaluate here are the win rate, which is an idea of what the consistency of these trades is. We're going to look at the mean daily P&L, which is our profitability, and then the maximum drawdown, which is, of course, the risk. And this is the largest peak-to-trough decline in the cumulative P&L over any period during the study. So this is basically the high to low P&L volatility. So if you had 50 winners in a row and then you had 5 losers in a row that were max loss, something like that is going to be your widest distribution, because you're going from the highest point to the lowest point here. Peak to trough, biggest deviation in your P&L. And that gives you an idea of your swings on a one contract trade here. So all trades are executed at the mid price. What are your initial thoughts of width and profit targets? What do you think are going to be like the spot to be?
It's probably, you would think you would say that the $30 wide for the first part of it, and maybe the 30-ish delta. I really think it's going to be closer to that 25 or 20-ish delta, since they only did 30 and 20. I'm going to say 20 delta, and I'm going to say $20 wide, just because you're going to get those moves when it goes $30 or more, and you're going to have that kind of outlier. I think risk reward and sweet spot or optimal is going to be around that 20. And the profit targets, I think the profit targets you can skew to 30%.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, not the middle of 20%. But I haven't seen the study, and we will find out momentarily.
Yeah.
That's just my guess.
A lot of this is good.
I think it's going to be good, better, and great at some point.
Yes.
I think they're all going to be in this market that we've had, and if this type of market continues, and I'm not just saying in a directional bias, but if this market continues, which it usually always does, then it's going to be a good thing.
Yes. Let's check it out. So here, the first one, we're looking at $10 wings. We're looking at the 30 delta short strikes, and then the other three are the 20 delta short strikes. And then we're looking at the profit targets in increments of 10, 20, and 30 for each of those short strikes. You can see an awesome win rate here. I mean, across the board, 10 or 90%, the lowest being 76%, which gets to those higher profit targets. And that's not a shock because those are going to take longer. You're going to be in those trades for a longer period of time. You'll also see your maximum drawdown from peak to trough is going to be your highest when you are targeting a higher profit potential. And you can see here, to your point, that 20% realm is where you have basically the same amount of drawdown risk as the 10%. And all of these, the drawdown with a $10 wide is going to be basically the same because you're having that one, like today, if you had this trade, I guess today worked fine. But if you have a day where you have a 50 or 60 or 70 point ripper after the open,
Yep.
where your max loss, these are all going to have very similar max losses on these trades. I mean, you're going to realize them all. None of these on a 50-point move in the first 30 minutes where you kind of gap and then sit there. None of the profit targets are going to hit. So you're getting all the same loss on really all of these.
That is correct.
And so that's why you'll see a lot of these drawdowns are just exponentially bigger as the profit target gets wider because you're holding these positions to expiration. But the point here is that you've got great consistency across all of these trades. They've all been net positive. It's been the profits are smaller, obviously, but you're very, very consistent here. Very, very high probability trades. Your max drawdown is reasonable. You get a string of a couple losers and a $2,600 move. That's 2 or 3 spreads, max risk wise. This is a pretty comfortable spot here.
Very good. Totally agree. Don't have anything to add. It's perfect.
The next one I think is kind of the sweet spot here. So this is when you get into the $20 wings. So you're looking at, of course, the 30 delta short strikes and the 20 deltas, and then managing at different profit potentials. Here you've got across the board, 80 to 90% win rates. I mean, like this is, and it's not a shock because you're taking, just like we had this trade on for, 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
Yeah.
You're in, you're out, you move on. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the key here is that these are very quick. They're small profits. You obviously have the drawdowns, which exist. You have that sort of tail risk, and you've got to maintain that. But, this is where you're making $20, $20, $30, $40 pretty consistently on a 90%, win rate. That's a good little day as an engagement.
Yes.
And you'll see in that 20% profit target range, your drawdowns get actually tighter. And I think that's a combination of both higher profits that you're getting overall, because you're getting twice what you are with the 10% profit target, but you're avoiding a lot of the tails that you're getting if you're waiting for too much profit, which is what you see on the 30% profit target for the 30 deltas. And, when you're looking at the 20 deltas, you're getting more premium there. It's a little bit of a different story. But really, you're avoiding a lot of the tails with the 10 or 20% profit targets. I think that's another key here of why we have been managing these so quickly.
Big key. Totally agree. So which one would you pick out of all of those, just out of curiosity?
I think it's the 30 delta at 20% profit targets is the spot. Like that's the one.
And I said closer to 25 or 20. So
with 20-point wide wings.
With 20-point wide wings. Yeah, I knew that was going to be the right way.
The right way.
At least I would have bet more money on that for sure. just because those outlier moves that I did outline prior to that. I think the 30 to 20 was going to be 6 of one, half dozen of another, but
Yeah.
you're right. 30.
You probably, if we had one in between, like at a 15-point wide, like,
Yeah,
I think that
yeah,
might even
maybe.
be like the spot. But it's somewhere in this range is really where you want to be, between 10 and 30 points wide. Once you get past 30, there's no added benefit. You're just adding more risk.
Yep.
So I think that's a big point here. And you'll see that with this 30-point wide, the 30 wings. The 30 wings are not all that different from the 20 wings, which exactly what you were mentioning. You'll see your profit targets or your average profit is slightly higher, but your drawdown is exponentially higher. So you're looking at these and you see, obviously the 10% profit target, you're closing trades, you're missing a lot of the tail events. When you're getting to the $30 wide and holding those to expiration, losing trades, now you have these big wide deviations. So it goes to show you, we talk a lot about widening the wings versus upping the contracts. That's more applicable on a 40-day time frame where you have more time and your long option there's a difference in the value, a bigger difference in the value. When you're moving from a 5 delta to a 4 delta option, you're just adding more risk. You're not really adding any sort of upside. And I think that's what this kind of shows you here is that sticking to the $10 or $20 wide is much more reasonable than going to these. But they're all good. They've all been profitable. They've all worked despite the wider drawdown range. But I think going to these $10 or $20 wide spreads is where you should really be.
Good.
Couple takeaways here. So
let's do them.
This was a good one. 80, 90% win rate. That's good. Again, keep in mind, this has been in a very much an up market. So, you get a couple weeks or months or God forbid years of sort of sideways action, and these will be even better stats. If you get a month or two where the market goes nowhere, all these numbers are going to get way better. Wing width drove performance. So wider wings delivered better mean P&L and win rates, but demanded more capital and suffered larger, more significant drawdowns. This is the case, more risk and you have more reward, but there's a point where, that kind of comes into play. Profit targets were essential here. So early exits, anywhere in the 10 to 30% of the credit received, resulted in good win rates and net profits regardless of the rest of the configuration. So all of these, when you're managing these very quickly and taking those small little bites out of the market, they've been good throughout what has been basically, a straight up move bull market. And obviously when we looked at the puts, they were just doing the put spread is the best if you knew that the market was going to double in 2.5 years. Strike selection was a wash. So the 20 or 30 delta they were basically in line with each other. There wasn't a huge difference. So, there's no perfect sweet spot. Maybe you go to the 25 delta, or 23 delta, 27 delta. It's all kind of the same in that realm, showing no clear winner between all those. Both performed similarly, enough that the choice comes down to trader preference. We've been doing somewhere in the 20 to 25 range for our short strikes. That's where we've been leaning. Risk capacity determines the optimal setup. So if you have limited capital or low drawdown tolerance, stick with the narrow wings despite the lower returns. If you can weather stronger swings and deploy more capital, you can consider widening out those spreads. I think somewhere in the 10 to 20, maybe 25 range is the spot where you should be doing these.
Totally agree.
Wing width.
Yep, totally agree. Maybe we'll look at that too in the coming 0-day iron condor in-depth studies that we're doing here.